Robinhood just rolled out staking for Ethansol in the US, which is huge news. And if you've been paying attention, you probably saw that I Trust Capital recently introduced Solana staking too. On top of that, we're starting to hear chatter not just about Trust Capital specifically, but industry-wide regarding potential XRP yield offerings. As I've mentioned countless times, Trust Capital is a longtime partner of mine. I personally hold my crypto in an IRA and a premium custody account with them. You can check it out yourself at itrustcapital.com/XRParmy if you want the same peace of mind I have. With iTrust, you get institutional-grade custo by Fireblocks, Coinbase Prime, and Fidelity to safeguard your crypto. They charge just a simple 1% trading fee. That's it. I've been using them since 2018 or 2019, and I've never once had to worry about my assets. The premium custody setup is especially secure. It's a closed-loop system. You can move crypto and USD into the account, but only USD can be withdrawn. That kind of structure is one of the best protections against hacks. Just think about it when you read about these big crypto heists. The assets always get funneled through shady mixers like Tornado Cash. But with iTrust Capital's closed-loop model, that risk is off the table. Now, looking at the markets, we're starting to see a bit of a rebound after yesterday's dip. Chad Stingart just pointed out that XRP's open interest is still sitting at record highs, $10.7 billion. In my opinion, there's no doubt where this is heading. We're moving up, period. The total crypto market cap is currently sitting around $3.86 trillion. We've seen it push as high as $3.93 trillion recently, making this the third time in the last month we've tested that elusive $4 trillion ceiling. But the altcoin momentum? It looks like it's hit pause for now. And if you just heard that background noise, that was my 19-year-old, who somehow still forgets that when I'm recording, it's supposed to be quiet time. Even though I've trained him better, he and his siblings still find a way to turn anything into a battle. The joys of parenting. Anyway, this is the kind of market perspective you need to hear right now. There's a tidal wave of absolutely wild news dropping, and I know exactly what's on your mind. With all these bullish headlines, why the heck is the market dipping? Simple. Someone's selling off, and the leveraged positions are getting flushed out. But let's be real, this pullback, it's nothing major, just a minor shakeout. We've been riding green candles for a while now. We needed a breather, a few red days here and there. Totally normal. Can't have a raging bull run without some cool downs along the way. Stay grounded. Folks, we're still in a strong uptrend and the bull market is very much intact. Now, let's talk about this jaw-dropping news. Honestly, it fries my brain. If anything like this had happened back in 2017, the space would have exploded. Now, it barely makes headlines. Check this out. Coinbase has teamed up with PNC Bank, the 7th largest bank in the US. It's opening the door for 9 million customers to buy, sell, and hold crypto directly through their banking platform. That's a big deal. It doesn't stop there. Goldman Sachs and BNY Mellon just launched tokenized money market funds on the blockchain. They're diving into a $7.1 trillion market. This is the same financial ecosystem backing the likes of BlackRock and Fidelity. Real-world assets are making their way on-chain in a big way. Get this. JP Morgan is now planning to offer crypto-backed loans using Bitcoin and Ethereum as collateral. That's $4.3 trillion in motion. People, this isn't theory anymore, it's happening. And this is what we need to be paying attention to. Check this out. There's a potential bombshell brewing at the Fed. You can literally feel the mounting pressure on Jerome Powell to start cutting interest rates. And if that actually happens, the crypto markets could go absolutely ballistic. He's heading to the Federal Reserve today, and the rumors are flying. Some even say Powell's job could be on the line. We're talking about a possible major shakeup at the very top. Big moves are coming. At the same time, we've got some revealing commentary from the Treasury Secretary. The question was simple. What do you and Powell actually talk about when you meet weekly? Turns out, they grab breakfast together and dive right into the big topics, like inflation or the lack of it. They're discussing the broader economic landscape, both here in the US and globally. And of course, the big question everyone wants answered. When will the Fed finally tap out? When will they say enough is enough? And came a more personal Angle, what's Powell actually like behind the scenes? Is he warm, irritated, detached? The answer, he's respectful, serious about his role, and deeply experienced. Let's not forget, he was originally appointed by Trump. But here's the kicker, and it's what's really stirring the pot in D.C. Sometimes, in these high-level government roles, the institution starts to mold the individual, not the other way around. As the secretary put it, the building takes over the person. Let me put it plainly. We're talking about the influence of the deep state, those unseen forces that slowly wrap their grip around Washington insiders. And just when you think it couldn't get any crazier, now we've got Jerome Powell facing a lawsuit. Welcome back, folks. Today, Azoria Capital filed legal action against Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell, accusing the Fed of violating federal transparency laws. The lawsuit demands that a federal judge immediately halt next week's FOMC meeting from happening behind closed doors. According to the suit, Azoria believes the central bank is operating in the shadows, and that its recent policies, especially maintaining sky-high interest rates, are aimed at sabotaging President Trump's economic momentum. The claim? Powell's Fed is playing politics, and Azoria wants that meeting open to the public. Joining the discussion was James Fishback, CEO of Azoria, who laid it all out. Yes, Maria, I absolutely believe this is political, he said. We've had 5 straight inflation readings that came in lower than expected. Inflation is now at a 4-year low, and still the Fed won't cut rates from these 20-year highs. That's hurting everyday Americans. People can't buy homes, can't get mortgages, can't build families. It's crushing. Azoria is urging the courts to intervene, asking for a temporary restraining order to stop next week's Fed meeting unless it's made public. According to Fishback, the Fed's pattern of secrecy needs to end. Just because they've always done things behind closed doors doesn't mean it's legal. He referenced key Supreme Court decisions like the recent overturning of the Chevron doctrine as shifting the tide toward accountability. Americans are fed up, Fishback added. People don't understand why Powell refuses to respond to the data. It's time for transparency. It's time for change. Then came the historical bombshell reminding viewers that the Fed was born in secrecy. Back in the day, top reps from America's wealthiest families met in secret on Jekyll Island in Georgia, arriving in separate train cars to devise what would become the Federal Reserve System. They brought the plan to Congress, dressed it up as a public initiative, locked in total control over U.S. money. Ever since, they've had America in a financial stranglehold. But now, the tides are turning. And when this system starts to unravel, one thing is absolutely clear. Crypto is... And then we've got Trump weighing in on what crypto really represents, and it's pretty eye-opening. He pointed out that most Americans don't realize just how outdated the U.S. financial system truly is behind the scenes. We're talking decades behind the times. And yes, he even called out the Federal Reserve directly. You know it, he said. Paul and others are working on it. When it comes to payments and money transfers, the system is broken. Transactions that should be instant can take days or even weeks to clear. That's where this new bill comes in. It aims to drag this ancient infrastructure into the 21st century using cutting-edge crypto technology. Trump himself seemed almost surprised. Who would have thought we'd be talking like this just 2 years later? Honestly, not wrong. 2 years ago, this would have sounded futuristic. Now, it's the direction we're heading in. And now we've got BlackRock chiming in, and this could be a game changer that happens sooner than people think. The $12.5 trillion asset giant is signaling not just potential interest rate cuts on the horizon, but something even bigger. They believe central banks may soon begin accumulating cryptocurrencies, and yes, XRP is likely to be on that list. Meanwhile, in global markets, fiscal pressures are building. Yield spreads hint that the Japanese yen could strengthen, which might shake up investor confidence. Then there's this take from Dom Kwok, co-founder of IZAO, who said their platform delivers serious credibility without the luxury price tag. That mixed trust and affordability is pulling in a new wave of small, savvy buyers. And honestly, that's how I got here too. When I first started, I bought some Bitcoin. But when I used it, I quickly noticed it was slow. It took forever to confirm. Then I tried XRP and I had that aha moment. It was instant, it was cheap, and it still had that scarcity factor, just like Bitcoin. Then I learned XRP goes a step further. It's actually deflationary. With every transaction, a small amount of XRP is burned, reducing the supply over time. That's a level of scarcity Bitcoin doesn't have. To me, it's a no-brainer. XRP. It just makes more sense. And I think soon enough, institutional investors will start to realize that too. That shift could change everything. Also, quick heads up, if you want to dive deeper into all of this, you can join our community. Whether it's through Patreon by hitting join right here on YouTube or subscribing on X Twitter, you've got options. Inside the group, we're focusing on planning, not stressing over the daily ups and downs, but building strategies that really prepare you and your family for what's coming. That's where my focus is. Long-term thinking, not short-term noise. Let's get into it.